जी यार आगे नहीं जाओ, आगे मत जाओ। संजय, केबल को कोई छेड़ रहा है यार पीछे यार। अरे नहीं देगा यार। अरे चलो दीदी। अरे कहाँ से देगा बाइट यार? तो कैमरा बंद कर लो। कैमरा नहीं बंद करना है। केबल ले ले जल्दी, हाथ में ले ले जल्दी, केबल जल्दी ले ले। दे मोबाइल तो डिस्टर्ब। मोबाइल जेब में रखा। केबल को पकड़ तो खा लिया। केबल को पकड़। संजय
These were the latest images that we were getting you from Srinagar. Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh having arrived in Srinagar there to pay tributes to the CRPF troopers who were killed on Thursday's Pulwama Terror Attack. 40 mortal remains in 40 coffins. That staggering number, which is further hard-hitting to be collectively seeing the coffins here. In the presence during this wreath-laying ceremony with the state governor Satya Pal Malik as well. Our correspondent Mir Fareed, of course, getting us further inputs here in what is to be followed now. Mir, please go ahead.
Yes, that's right. Unfortunately, this incident that has happened yesterday is having a kind of a ripple effect as far as consequences or reactions are concerned. We know what's happening in Jammu, but before we go to Jammu, let me tell you that the Home Minister has already arrived in Srinagar, and he'll in fact go or is already at the CRPF center in Srinagar, where he will lay wreath as far as these jawans are concerned. 40 bodies there, really something that we have not seen or not witnessed in the Kashmir Valley over a period of time. That's why very unprecedented and something that has had a devastating effect on every sphere of governance as far as Kashmir is concerned, J&K is concerned, and the ripples have been in fact felt across up to Delhi as well. Now the Home Minister is here. After that, after this, he'll address a press conference. Post that, he'll go and preside over a very high-level meeting of security officials in the Kashmir Valley. Senior officers of almost every belt force intelligence agencies would be there, and this attack will be discussed threadbare as to where things have gone wrong, whether it's an intelligence failure, whether it's a failure of whether it's a security lapse. Obviously, it is a security lapse of massive magnitudes, even after the fact that the intelligences say that they have in fact tipped off the security forces about the fact that there could be an attack on a convoy. In spite of that, probably somewhere there was a mistake, somewhere the required attention was not given, and that led to this. So all these questions need answers, and probably they'll try to find an answer or answers in that meeting. And definitely some changes would be made as far as the mechanism of security, especially on the national highways, concerned. Also importantly, convoys, how can you secure the convoys? Now in this case, CRPF was unlucky because they were moving through that area, big convoy at that time. Had it been army, police, there would have been no difference. Not that the CRPF was the target. Any security force convoy moving from that area would have been the target. So all these questions would definitely need answers. But right now, multiple things happening as far as the state of Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, as far as law and order is concerned, and they really need to take care of all those things before they really spiral out of control. Back to you.
That's right, Mir. Of course, questions being asked, and what has been now made as an official statement from the government of India in slamming Pakistan for this terror attack, and strict action that needs to be taken, which of course has been indicated by Prime Minister Modi in 2 rallies that he addressed today, in 2 development projects that he launched earlier today. But in measures that have been taken to act against perpetrators believed to be based in Pakistan, in further isolating Pakistan or in withdrawing the MFN status, and to what extent that would really change things on ground, because we had already seen an almost isolation with a zero dialogue process with the neighbor.
Absolutely. Now, let me tell you 2-3 things that have happened since morning, which has come as a kind of a response of the government of India to this attack. Number one, they're saying that free hand will be given to the security forces. But the fact of the matter is that already the forces in the Kashmir Valley who are operating against militants or otherwise have a free hand. Now, had they not had a free hand, you would not have seen the kind of killings of militants. If you talk of Kashmir Valley top commanders, the outfits have been marginalized. On the other hand, MFN status that has been revoked, obviously not something that will have any earth-shattering impact on Pakistan. So it's more about rhetoric as far as these decisions are concerned. What is significant is what the Prime Minister has said when he says that some action, he's already announced that there will be a retaliation, but on the time and choosing of the army and the security forces. It's not that they'll do it overnight, but they'll plan, and definitely there'll be a reaction to this. So that is very significant. But other than that, it's the other steps that have been taken. It's more of a rhetoric, more of a just to tell the people that we're doing something about it. But when it comes to concrete measures on the ground, what the Prime Minister has talked about is the fact that there could be a retaliation. We'll have to wait and see what kind of retaliation as far as military is concerned. But other than that, the steps that have been or what has been announced, I'm sure that's more of a rhetoric just to calm down the people, because because people, obviously, the country is
Okay.
anguished about it, and they want something to happen immediately, so that it could be seen as a kind of a revenge, or at least as far as these killings are concerned. Back to you.
Yes, Mir, please stay on with us. We're getting in further breaking inputs here. Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale having now been summoned, Pakistan High Commissioner to India Sohail Mahmood, and lodged a strong protest over the killing of the CRPF soldiers in Pulwama. These are breaking inputs here. Pakistan High Commissioner here having been summoned. And Mir, as stated, of course, this is as per predictable lines. This is, of course, without doubt, imperative procedure now and the bare minimum.
Can you repeat your question?
Yes, Mir, this is with respect to breaking developments here that are coming in. Our Ministry of External Affairs lodging an extremely strong protest there against the killing of the CRPF jawans, and the Pakistan High Commissioner having been summoned now by our Foreign Secretary.
Well, yes, but that's pretty much on the expected lines. This lodging of protest has always been there, and this time around also it was expected that the Pak High Commission would be called, and Commissioner in fact would be called, and a very strong statement in the form of what India feels right now as far as this attack is concerned, that would be conveyed to the Pak High Commissioner. But as I said, this is pretty much routine. We've seen such exercises being undertaken whenever there is an attack of this kind. You recall any attack that has happened over a period of time, be it in Udhampur or Kashmir Valley, these steps have been taken. But the fact of the matter is that the warmongering is also something that won't help right now. You need a very well-defined and a systematic approach to such a situation, because, as I said, it's not something that has happened today, or it has been something that has been recurring over a period of time. But right now, since the government feels that it's cornered, in a sense that people think, and opposition is also up the ante as far as not being done enough as far as militancy or terrorism is concerned. For that, it seems that the government of India wants to come out with a concerted effort, as far as synergized effort, if I can call it, where the Ministry of External Affairs, Home Affairs, and even if you talk of commerce, when it comes to MFN status, all of this is being seen as punitive action against Pakistan when it comes to this kind of an attack. So they're trying to come out with a concerted effort where they want to seen as a government which is coming out with a cohesive effort as far as various wings are concerned, so as to ensure that Pakistan gets the message right now. And in fact, when it comes to military action, that has also been hinted by the Prime Minister. That may come when we don't know. Obviously, that's for the army and the military to decide.
Absolutely. While this is imperative procedure that should be taking place here, it is also still just the bare minimum that we're looking at. Mir, many thanks for getting us those details here. But the Prime Minister earlier today having minced no words in promising stern action against the perpetrators of this biggest terror attack since the Uri attacks, and this latest attack having claimed 40 lives, having martyred 40 of our jawans. On Thursday, the explosive-laden vehicle that rammed into the CRPF convoy, which had 78 vehicles and over 2,500 CRPF jawans. Prime Minister Modi having chaired a high-level meet earlier today in the national capital with the defence, with the Union Home and Finance Ministers, decided here that the Ministry of External Affairs will push for complete isolation of Pakistan internationally.
हमारे सुरक्षा बलों को पूर्ण स्वतंत्रता दे दी गई है। मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि देशभक्ति के रंग में रंगे लोग सही जानकारियां भी हमारी एजेंसियों तक पहुंचाएंगे, ताकि आतंक को कुचलने में हमारी लड़ाई और तेज हो सके। मैं आतंकी संगठनों को और उनके सरपरस्तों को कहना चाहता हूं कि वे बहुत बड़ी गलती कर चुके हैं। बहुत बड़ी कीमत उनको चुकानी पड़ेगी। मैं देश को भरोसा देता हूं कि हमले के पीछे जो ताकतें हैं, इस हमले के पीछे जो भी गुनहगार हैं, उन्हें उनके किए की सजा अवश्य मिलेगी।
The Ministry of External Affairs will initiate all possible steps, and I'm here referring to all possible diplomatic steps which have to be taken to ensure the complete isolation from the international community of Pakistan, of which incontrovertible evidence is available of having a direct hand
आगे करो, आगे निकलो, ये रास्ते को बेटा, बस वहाँ पर इसको आने को थोड़ा इसको जगह दीजिए, गाड़ी लाइन को जाए, आप आ जाइए।
Well, these are very painful images that would remain with us for several years to come in one of the most heinous terror attacks on our jawans. Even more staggering, the numbers there, even more staggering when you see the presence of all the 40 coffins bearing the mortal remains here of our CRPF jawans there. This is the gun salute and the wreath-laying ceremony having just concluded, and you have the mortal remains which would now be headed out and sent out to their grieving families, and this is pan-India. As we read out the list of those martyred belonging to Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Assam, West Bengal, Odisha, this is a day of national mourning pan-India, while their mortal remains there being further taken out of Budgam there would be now sent across to their grieving families for their last and final rites. Question, of course, here being asked, of course, a very strong message being sent out by all political parties in the thick of this election season, that we're all standing together, with the government in whatever decision would be taken next here.